Hey everybody, these are the instructions for digital literacy for Friday, August 21st. So today we're going to actually start our curriculum, and I use a program from Common Sense Media on digital citizenship. And so I have listed on Edmodo our instructions for today, so let's take a look at that. The first unit is called Media Balance and Well-Being, and the lesson we're going to start with is digital media and your brain. Here's what you're going to learn. You're going to be able to explore ways that different digital media are and aren't designed to help them make good media choices. You're going to reflect on how digital media is designed to either help or hinder the addition of meaning and value to your lives. And you're going to think about how to develop good, healthy habits when using digital media. Okay? So here's what you're going to do. First thing we're going to do, I've attached two documents to the post. I have a slides, Google Slides, and then I have a student handout that we're going to be working with. So let's open up the slides. And let's go through them. Okay. I'm going to kind of be flipping back and forth. So first thing we're going to do is I want you to watch the video Teen Voices, the pressure to stay connected. Okay, so the first slide is just, the cover slide. And here's the essential question we're going to be talking about. How does digital media try to hook you, and what can you do about it? Okay, and we've already gone through the learning objectives. Okay, now this slide here. What do you think when you see this message? And what caption would you write for this image? Okay, so I want you to think about that. 3 girls on their phone. Okay. All right, here is a vocab word for this lesson, the word habit. A habit is something we do automatically without thinking. All right, so here's a video that I'm going to show, and I want you to think about these questions. What media habits did teens talk about? Which features of design hook them? And do you think their media habits add value and meaning to your lives? Okay, so I'm going to play that right now.
I check my phone a lot. More than I can count. I check it usually when I wake up in the morning. Before school, on the bus ride to school. During school. A couple times each class. At lunch. Probably check it at break. After school. Walking home. While I'm doing homework. I'm constantly checking my phone until I go to bed. For me personally, the positives of social media are the biggest probably that I feel connected. It's a way for me to talk to my friends at all times. When I don't have it, it really feels like I'm on another planet. I don't really wish for the days when I didn't have my phone because it gives me so much stuff that I cherish.
I think I really enjoy social media when I am discussing issues with like-minded people or talking about things I'm very passionate about.
I like to make artwork and write, and so sometimes I'll use that as a platform to display my art. It's fun. I like posting, I like editing pictures. It's just fun to be able to talk to my friends all the time.
Yeah, I don't really feel pressed or anything like that. Just because there's always somebody to talk to and always somebody that's there for you. That's kind of a good thing about social media.
It has definitely created a pressure for people to keep on doing it, and I know that it's basically to keep them on the app.
The autoplay kind of helps it binge watch because, if I don't get to the remote and click back, then it's just going to start playing.
It's hard to keep track of the episodes and hours when you're binge watching. I think that is definitely part of it.
I only have to wait 3 seconds to see what happens next. So
I watched about 10 to 12 episodes in a day one time when I still was home from school. And I finished the first season in one day. I think I've done that twice.
There's been times where I've planned on just watching one video, but then I've kept watching more because they're recommended. And then it just keeps going, and all of a sudden, time has passed.
Sometimes when I'm really into the show, but I have something else I need to do, it's very hard to decide if I should click out or not. But it starts playing the next episode, I'm like, oh, it won't hurt, just one more. You find yourself 2 hours later, and you're still watching it, and you have homework to get done.
I would say that I'm definitely hooked on my phone, very dependent on it is the word I would use. I feel that I'm very aware of this and I'm not very happy about it. Sometimes I wish that social media didn't have as much of an impact on my life. I'll work and then every once in a while I'll be like, okay, I'll take a break, and then I'll go back and check again, and then I'll check for too long, and then I waste a bunch of time that way.
It really makes you feel less whole when you realize you're putting so much energy into something that's on a little box in your hand.
It's something new. It's always exciting. It keeps your attention, and that constant turnover of adding new things definitely contributes to the amount of time people spend on it.
Okay. So that was kind of an interesting video. So I want you to think about these questions. What media habits did teens talk about? What features of design hooked them? And do you think their media habits add value and meaning to their lives? Okay, so those are 3 questions I want you to think about. Normally, if we were in class today, we would discuss them, but I want you to think about those, okay? So we're going to go to slide 7 now. Okay, here are a couple more vocab words. Addictive design. Those are features or aspects of a device or app that are intended to hook the user into frequent use. And then we have a feedback loop. That's a response to something you do or post online that causes your brain to experience a temporary moment of pleasure. Okay? Then we have another vocab word, humane design. What does humane design mean? Okay, well, that's features or aspects of a device or app that prioritize what's good for people's lives. Okay? So we have addictive design that causes you to hook you into it. Like, for example, when you're binge watching and it just automatically kicks you into the next episode. But humane design would actually be a feature on a device or an app that prioritize what's good for you. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at our instructions again. We kind of discussed addictive design, and as far as feedback loops go, let me go back a minute, okay? That's just a response to something that you do or post online that causes your brain to experience a temporary moment of pleasure. So maybe you like someone's post, and then you see that someone liked your post, okay? So that would be an example of that. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at our slide here. And we are going to move on to our student handout, okay, because that's what slides 9 and 10 are, okay? So what I'd like you to do is open up the Digital Media and Your Brain, Humane or Brain Drain student handout. And I hope I made this public. Let me just double check here. Let's see, I think. Oh, I know. Okay, I remember. Okay, so here's what I need you to do. I don't want you to edit this copy. What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to make a copy of this to put into your digital literacy folder. So you're going to have to hit File, Make a Copy. So this is going to be a copy of it, and that's what you're going to be editing. Okay, so make sure you do that. Save it into your digital literacy folder. Okay, so here's what I would like you to do today. I want you to finish part 1 and part 2 of the student handout. So let's take a look at this, okay? There are going to be some maps that are described below. I would like you to underline or highlight examples of humane design. Okay, now, if you don't remember what that is, let's go back and read the definition. Features or aspects of a device or app that prioritize what's good for people's lives. Okay, so you're going to underline humane design. And then you're going to answer the questions. So you have an example here, and you're going to underline anything in humane design, and then you're going to answer this question. Would this app add value or meaning to Sam's life? Why or why not? And then you have another app, underline Humane Design, and then answer this question. Would this app add value or meaning to Lisa's life? Why or why not? And then we have part 2, okay? You're going to choose a device, app, or website that you spend a lot of time using. Maybe it's YouTube, maybe it's Snapchat. Think about the different features it has and whether they are humanely designed or addictively designed. Again, if you don't remember, go back. Humane design, addictive design, okay? Then you're going to add them to the T-chart and then review the examples in part 1 to help you decide which features should go where. So, for example, you're going to name the device or app that you want to, that you use a lot. Let's say you use YouTube videos, okay? You're going to list whether you think, what are the features? So you'd put YouTube videos up here, and then you're going to say, okay, what part of YouTube would be listed under humane design? What part would be listed under addictive design, okay? And I would list at least 2 or 3 in each column, okay? Humane design, 2 or 3 humane design, 2 or 3 addictive design. Then you're going to write 3 guidelines to help you keep track of your behavior as you use different apps with addictive design, okay? So what would it be that could help you keep track of your behavior that might help you, okay? And you're going to write 3 guidelines. For example, maybe you would say, I'm going to limit my YouTube watching to 30 minutes at bedtime. Okay, that would be something that would keep track of your behavior and help you with that addictive design. Okay, or maybe set a bedtime for yourself. All right, once you get that done, you are going to turn it into Google Classroom. I will create, I'll do that right now. I'll create a turn-in for this. So I'm going to go to classwork, and I'm going to create an assignment, and I'm going to call it Humane or Brain Drain. Okay, so complete parts 1 and 2 and turn into Google, or attach to Google Classroom. Okay, and this is going to be worth 20 points. And the due date is today, the 21st, and the time would be 3 o'clock. Okay, so make sure you turn that in. And I believe that's all we had for today for this class. Yep, parts 1 and part 2. Okay, if you have any questions, just send me a post in Edmodo or email.